A very pleasant good afternoon to you. Pleasant good afternoon. Pleasant afternoon to all joining us here on APNU AFC TV. My name is Randolph Critchlow. I want to say thank you very much for joining us. Those joining us internationally in the region and right here in Guyana. Folks, it is Thursday, the 24th of June 2021. Let's unpack. Welcome back, folks. To the live this afternoon. Welcome to the rush. I want to say thank you. We ask you that you share the live stream for us. Share the live stream. Let your friends and family know that we are live and we are about to unpack some credible and valid information here. Bring to you what is happening in and around Guyana, folks. It is a very sad day. It is a very sad day. Day 326 days of this fraudulent administration's imposition. They were installed and they continue to impose themselves on Guyana. And today, folks, my mood is a bit somber because I see signs. I see signs, troubling signs in our country. And I'm going to go in deep today on what I feel is one of the most troubling signs that, this is tyranny. This is vindictive racism, not just ordinary racism. This is vindictive racism. This is beyond the pale, out of pocket. This is way beyond what you expect of any human decency. And I'm talking here about what happened with the Haitians. And we're going to dig in deep because this is significant. And as I like to do, I will go back and show you pieces of evidence that lead us to my conclusion. I have concluded today that we are seeing the unfolding here of something sinister and evil. And I want you to understand that we are seeing here the unfolding of something sinister and evil. It is, you cannot put it any plainer than that. And I'm going to share with you the pieces of evidence that brought me to that conclusion. This is my opening take, folks. This is my opening take. I want to say it to you before I get to the opening take. Let me say, welcome to those persons on our live. I know we're anxious to start unpacking, but let me not jump the gun and say good afternoon to all of the people who are joining us on Facebook, the patient ones who are joining us before on YouTube. We know that our YouTube notification comes up a little while before we actually go live. We had some persons commenting. So thank you very much. Early birds who Quincy ST and Lambert. I'm not going to pronounce that last name. I don't know what it is, Lambert, but thank you very much for tuning in early on YouTube. Remember to subscribe to our page, our YouTube channel. Remember to share the live stream here on Facebook before we start unpacking, folks. Welcome. Let me say shout out. Let us know where you're joining us from this afternoon. As we usually do, we like to give you your dues. People say give Jackie jacket. We want to give you a shout out. Let us know where you're joining us from. New Jersey is in the house. This is the one part of the program that I enjoy that picks me up a little bit because we deal with so many depressing and sickening political news that sometimes it weighs on your shoulders. It weighs on your shoulders and it depresses you some days. So I'm always happy to give that little shout out to persons who are viewing us from various parts of the world. So I want to say thank you very much to all of you. Brooklyn is in the house. Philadelphia is in the house. St. Martin, Suriname, Linden, of course, is in the house. New Amsterdam is in the house. Thank you very much for watching and tuning in this afternoon. As I call your location, it is a responsibility to share the live stream. Share the live stream with your friends and family, right? Right. We are going to be unpacking some interesting information. Our friends in Canada joining us. Miami, Toronto, Texas, Delaware, Barbados. Good afternoon to all of you joining us. This part of the program, as I said, picks me up because Sophia is in the house. North Ranvelt is in the house. Thank you very much, Mike Coney, Susan. Thank you very much for tuning in. Antigua, loyal friends. Linden, Tennessee is in the house. Queens, New York, Maryland, St. Kitts, Pennsylvania, Manhattan. Thank you very much. Buxton is in the house. Folks, we are always pleased to have you here. Always pleased to have you here. West Bank, Demerara, and thank you very much. Ricardo from Buxton, thank you very much for tuning in this afternoon. Fitzroy from New York. Shawnette from Brooklyn, thank you very much for tuning in. Remember, you are what makes a show, and it is your cooperation in sharing the live stream and letting people know that we are on that makes us successful and gives us that platform to continue to bring you the credible and valid information every single day. BV is in the house. Thank you very much, BV. France. Right. New Jersey. Folks, we're about ready to get going. We're close to that magic number, as my friend Sherrod Duncan would. You're responsible for getting us to that magic number. Thank you very much, folks. Let me go right into it, folks. And I will speak from my chest today. I speak from my heart because I'm hurt today, folks. I am hurt. Then let's get right into my opening theme. Folks, let me say this. During my observation of all that happened since August 2nd, some 326 days ago, certain things have been clear to me, and I have neglected to speak directly, because I always like evidence. It must make sense to me. It must correlate. It must mesh up for me to come to a conclusion that, you know what, something is amiss here. Something is wrong. And folks, something is definitely wrong with this PPP administration. Now, in the most recent act of blatant victimization, blatant, as if to use a colloquial term, badmindism, we see the government of Guyana revoking visa-free travel for Haitians to Guyana. Why is this significant, folks? Why is this an issue? One might remember that there was quite a significant case when 26 Haitians were to be deported from this country. The Attorney General, Anil Nandalal, lost that case. The attorney representing the Haitians was Mr. Darren Wade. And it is my assumption at this point in time that Anil Nandalal still feels hurt and is carrying a chip on his shoulder because of that. And I want to pull up that particular article. It is my belief, and anybody else, that Mr. Anil Nandalal is still carrying a chip on his shoulder. Since that time, the High Court halts deportation of detained Haitians. Now today we see the president ordering, his order with the stroke of a pen has revoked all of the visa-free entry of Haitians to Guyana. And I want to make a connection for you folks. Some persons might not make the connections, but I, sitting on the sidelines, observing this fraudulent administration, would want to make some connections to you. And it has to do with the behavior, attitude, the utterances of Mr. Anil Nandalal, who I believe is the chief cook and bottle wash in this whole attempt to suppress and oppress a particular race. I'm going to say it like that. And I said I have stayed away from this conversation about race on this show. Persons have come on this show and they have expressed their opinions about how they feel this government treats persons of a particular race in this country. Persons have labeled them a racist government. Persons have said that, look, these are the things that they are doing to black people. But I have stayed away from that conversation. I have sat on the sidelines and observed before I came to my own conclusion. But at this point in time, there is nothing that tells me that there isn't a clear case of victimization and selective racism by this administration led by Anil Nandalal, led by the fraudulent Attorney General and fraudulent Minister of Legal Affairs. Let us go back. Who is the person who is in charge? The Lanzar, who is in charge of charging persons like Mr. Trevor Ben and reclaiming lands from persons who are of a particular ethnic group? Mr. Anil Nandalal. He is the person, he's the chief for that. Who is the person who was front and center? Who is the person who was front and center when they were trying to deport the Haitians? Mr. Anil Nandalal. The evidence points squarely and frontally to Anil Nandalal. Let us go back to his attitude and behavior when he lost the case. I want to share that. When he lost that case to Annette Ferguson, what about his attitude and behavior there? And let us deal with this particular one as we highlight for you the pieces of evidence. We saw him suing Annette Ferguson now for the same amount of money that his client lost. Many have pointed out that his flippant and wanton disregard for the court in the case that he lost was down to the fact that it's African Guyanese, is an Afro-Guyanese judge. And And that Ferguson is Afro-Guyanese, so we ain't got time with that. They lost the case. 20 million. Now he is suing for the same amount that his client lost, who was Jack Dio. Let's fast forward to the Haitians. Let's talk about them. It isn't a coincidence that they share the same pigmentation as me. It is the black people of the CARICOM. It isn't a coincidence that these are the people that are now being treated as if they're second-class CARICOM citizens. Who is leading the charge again? None other than the Chatri. The man who believes that he is above a certain class of people in this country. And I want to make it clear that it took me a while to get to this position. Maybe I was naive. Maybe I was blinded. Maybe I believed that these fraudulent people had some modicum of humanity in them. Maybe I was misguided to believe that they are going to dig deep inside of themselves and find some sort of conscience and treat everybody with the same humanity. But I'm not surprised at this point in time because the trail of evidence leads straight to one direction. Who is the person leading the charge to fire, prosecute, indict, and to stain Afro-Guyanese who worked in the public service, who worked at GCOM? Anil Nandalal. Whether he is dancing to the music of his political master, Jack Dio, we may not know. Or we know, or we may know. But this man is at the forefront of this campaign to oppress black people in this country. I'm going to say it like that. I'm going to say it like that. And he has a chip on his shoulder. Ever since he lost that case when he wanted to deport the Haitians. So now he comes with this bogus argument that the Haitians, there is some international smuggling ring that takes people through Guyana. So they have taken a decision, folks. They have taken a decision that they are going to not accept Haitians in this country without visa. They have to apply for a visa now to try and come and go through our country to find work some way. Folks, it is a sad situation. A very sad situation. And it's not one that isn't happening and we're not seeing it. And I must admit that we have been like the proverbial frog in the water, the hot water, sitting and seeing these things happen. We've been sitting and seeing them happen. We've been trying to call them out. Now we are in a full-blown tyranny, where persons like Anil Nandalal are using the might of the state to completely suppress and oppress a particular ethnic group. I didn't come to this conclusion lightly. I didn't come to it lightly. might say that I gave the PPP ample opportunity to prove themselves otherwise. To prove to me that you're not a racist administration. And at every turn you have proved that that is exactly what you are. That is exactly what you are. And this is the situation that we're in this country right now. That is the situation this country is in. We are saddled with a racist, oppressive administration. And today's action only proves that. That only cements that in my mind. And we are seeing the unfolding of a vindictive scheme to get back at people, to smear people. We have a man walking around with the power of the state, the legal power of the state, with a chip on his shoulder. With a chip on his shoulder. And he is acting out every day in this manner, this oppressive manner. Folks, as I said, I am upset. I am angry. And this anger, this frustration, it's not only me. I want to play for you a video I came across on Facebook. I want to play the video for you. Gives you a better idea of how people feel about this situation. Gives you a clear idea, a clear picture of how people feel about this situation. Here's a young man expressing,
you know what's so fucked up?
And
these 80 people.
And you're going to forgive the language. You know, strong language content coming up. But it has to be said. I'm not even ashamed. I'm going to tell you, warn you that the video that you're going to look at has a bit of strong language. But let's look at it. Let's look at it, folks.
You know what's so fucked up? These 80 people just come to this country and look for legal jobs. They work hard. They try to do better. Some of them don't even come and stay in Guyana. Some of them just pass to go to other destinations like French Guyana, Suriname. Some of them go through to Latin to Brazil. Oh, you mean to tell me that these people now need visa to come to Guyana? So when they apply for the visa, they're not going to meet the requirements and you guys going to turn them down. Why this didn't apply to Venezuelan? Why this didn't apply to the Cubans? Just the people then from Haiti. You understand me? This is selective race. This is like so beyond anything. I mean, Miss Skin Crawling, you ever see any 80 person there involved in crime in Guyana? You ever see these people put themselves in crime or they just put themselves in jobs to better themselves? You ever see them do anything out the line? This is disgusting. This is the most harsh decision I ever seen, to be honest. I've never seen these people come and cause any destruction in this country. They don't do anything to affect anybody. You understand me? Because why? They're quiet people, they're very calm, and they put their mind to one agenda, and it's to work. I mean, certain people won't like them, some people won't want them around, but you must always see good in somebody who's willing to try to turn a different page. Think about it as Guyanese go anyway. Guyanese go to any region, any territory, and Guyanese cause problems. Some Guyanese even go for betterment to work. You understand me? How would you feel to know your cousin, your uncle, your auntie, somebody go to any other country to work, to look after something, and they get turned down? They get turned back because why? You want to come back to the Guyanese hardship. They can't do anything. Some people living in Guyana, and don't even want to do the job that these people coming from Haiti and do. Take, for example, security work. A lot of Guyanese have pride and shame. They don't want to do security work, but these people from Haiti come in and they're doing this security work. Look, the garbage collector truck that has come by me, Ray and Sophia. All of the workers are Haitians nationals. You're not seeing no Guyanese because why? They don't want to do garbage work. They don't want to roll garbage. These people coming to work. These people coming and cause no destruction. These people coming and do crime. How hard now you gonna make it for these people when they go and apply for a national visa now to visit Guyana and only to know that they don't meet the requirement and they get turned down? This is a country that come from that have the most disaster. You don't think somebody want to turn a new page? You don't think somebody else want to do something else for their family? You don't think they don't want ends meet for betterments? I don't even know what else to say. I've never touched anything political or touched anything that reached out to the nation, but this is pure. This is pure. This shouldn't be. Why is not attached to the Cubans? Why is not attached to the Brazilians? To the Venezuelans? This isn't right. These people just come and walk. Look, time that I used to work at DDCell, I used to sell SIM cards, and these people always come in, they're buying the SIM. And by them 2 morning, they come back, they bring the next family, they're in a full yard attire, bringing the next family to buy SIM card. They're passing, they're buying planting, they're buying provision. I realize that they like provision. They like to plant. Why are you doing these things to people? Everybody wants betterment. Everybody's looking for a better opportunity to make better for their life, to sacrifice themselves to war and to contribute to the country and contribute back to their family back home. It's not right. It's not fair. It's not fair.
Right. I think you heard in his voice. I think you heard it, folks. You heard it there. This is a young man who said you don't get involved in politics. But this is like the last straw. And as I said, I came to my conclusion today that we are living under a racist, oppressive regime. But folks, I'm going to be joined by Mr. Darren Wade, the lawyer, who was instrumental in that case to get the Haitians, who represented the Haitians, the 26 Haitians who were in the country. And we're going to talk about the legality of this move. We know that Haiti is a full member of CARICOM. And under the Treaty of Chaguaramas, there is free movement of people, free movement of service, free movement of goods among CARICOM nations. How legal is this? Right? And we are going to, because I have gotten a little emotional today. I've gotten emotional, but I'm going to move away from the emotional argument at this point in time and talk about the legal argument. Talk about the legal argument. Let me see if I can bring in Mr. Darren Wade this afternoon. Darren, of course, is an attorney at law, no stranger to anyone. And we're going to try and give him a call now and see if we can bring him in to talk about the legality of this and where we are as a country. And
hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, Darren, and welcome to the Rush this afternoon.
Oh, good afternoon to you, Mr. Critchlow, and to all of your listeners. Good afternoon to you all once more.
Thank you very much, Darren. Darren, we're talking here this afternoon. The main issue is this move by the government. Move by the government to block or revoke the visa-free entry of Haitians to Guyana. We know that you are instrumental in the case recently to try to get the 26 Haitians not deported. But I want you to comment generally on on this move by the government. This seems very strange to me and many of other persons. Your thoughts on it?
Well, do you want the legal aspect of it or the political aspect first? How should I go?
Let's deal with the legal aspect first, Darren. Let's deal with that.
Yes. So Haiti is a full member of CARICOM, as we all are aware, based upon a Guyana treaty arrangement with CARICOM. All CARICOM national has a right to enter Guyana for 6 months.
Yes.
6 months. So all the Asia. So this whole issue in relation to visa, it is nonsense. It is unlawful. It is illegal.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you can recall, Mr. Nandadal initially said the Haitians don't have rights, and then he switched him out, and then he basically accepted that Haitian nationals are full. Haiti is a full member state of CARICOM.
So if we understand that, Darren, and we move from that, if we use that as our foundation, these people are part of they come from a full CARICOM member country, and we fast forward to today, and what recourse do they have, given that we know that they are CARICOM member, and why is it that the government would make such a bold step?
The thing is, the Asian government will have to bring a matter before the CCG, challenging this decision by the state of Guyana.
Yeah.
However, a Asian national who is prevented from, or who is impeded from enjoying his rights and privilege, can approach the CCG.
Yes.
However, he must first write the Asian government, asking them on his behalf to approach the CCG in its original jurisdiction.
Yeah. Okay.
If they would have refused to do so, then you could approach the CCG.
Yeah.
So it's up to the Asian government, the boys in the Asian government, to represent the Asian nationals.
Okay, understood, Darren. But let's get political now. There was an attempt to deport the 26 Haitians, and the explanation by the fraudulent attorney general is that they are part of some smuggling ring. I don't know if we're still.
Well, we know that there were no evidence before the court.
Yeah.
And based on the court ruling in that matter, there were no evidence of any smuggling, or if this person were human trafficking. If the options were put to them, you're free to go, you're under protective custody, the procedure, they generally failed.
Yeah.
In this regard. So in that issue, what we know for a fact, since in the 1950s, Guyana did not join the West Indies Federation because the then Chetty Jagan believed that because of CARICOM, or the Caribbean has majority of black people, will outnumber our Indian brothers in Guyana. Fast forward to 2019, 2020, we can recall the opposition leader and other PPP operative complaining about Asian nationals.
Yes.
So one will want to put two together and believe that these people are attacked because one of their ethnicity, that they're probably coming to Guyana, and they may want to vote for the opposition.
Yeah.
So there's a fear or vote for the PNC, which we all know predominantly attract black supporters, and Indians based predominantly attract go towards the PPP.
Yeah.
So probably it's an issue of numbers that they're afraid of. That's my view of this whole issue.
Yeah. And how plausible is the argument put forward by the Attorney General that he has evidence of this? He said he didn't say he has evidence, but he said that this has all the trappings of a human trafficking ring. Did he put forward any actual evidence to prove that these people are part of some human trafficking ring?
What I will say to my learned friend, the Honorable Attorney General, if that is the case, bring forward the evidence, charge the person that you're involved, put them before the court.
Yes.
You cannot attack the entire nation, because you cannot victimize them if they are being trafficked. This is utter nonsense.
Yeah.
So I will encourage the Attorney General, my learned friend, if you people are being trafficked, charge those persons who are trafficking, because this is a crime. You have an obligation. Report them to the police. Well, I tell them to charge, really and truly, it is the DPP role, but they'll be making pronouncement sometimes we wonder whether or not he's performing the rules of the director of public prosecution.
Yeah.
So I will encourage him, if that is the case, let these people be investigated, report this to the police, and let them face the law. Why are you attacking an entire nation? That for me is sad, because you are re-victimizing these people. What about the Haitian nationals who want to come to Guyana, to see Guyana, which is their right and privilege under the revised Treaty of Chaguaramas? This move is unlawful and scandalous.
Yeah, and I think you make a very important point there. This unilateral, well, I want to say this wide action that was taken to basically punish an entire nation, because you assume you are suggesting that there is a human trafficking ring that passes through Guyana that involves Haitians. Of course, let's just assume that may be so. Let's just assume that you are right, even though you didn't put forward any evidence to suggest that you are correct. But let's just assume that is so. This may be one or two recalcitrant people from a country, one or two criminals, drug smuggling people, and instead of dealing with the problem, trying to find the people who are doing this, you decide to put a blanket order over a country, a nation, and punish them because they probably have some criminals doing some bad things. If that was the modus operandi in international relations, then nobody would be traveling anywhere.
Exactly. Exactly. It's garbage. It's excuses, total garbage and nonsense.
Yeah.
It is disgusting. It's scandalous.
Yeah. And I'm happy that you're sharing this with us. And as you said, as we wrap up here, Darren, I'm happy for your comments this afternoon. That
thank you. It's always important for us to come into these, come and speak to our people. We know we have intelligent people. Our people are not mentally lazy, so they could understand and appreciate what is going on.
Yeah. And let me close on this, Darren, because I opened with an emotional argument, not necessarily a legal or political one. But it seems as though we are caught in this cycle of vengeance and vindictiveness.
That's what is going on in Guyana. That's what is going on. What we are seeing, is people being attacked.
Yes.
But I will encourage all right-thinking members members of the society, or Guyanese who are right-thinking, to let us hold the fort and let us stand up for what is right.
Yeah, definitely. It seems as though the Attorney General is carrying a chip on his shoulder, and and you see very clearly the matters that bug them, and they feel as if they suffered some public embarrassment. They are going after with vengeance. And they are victimizing persons of a particular ethnic group, and it is no surprise. And I'm saying this, and I will hold to my truth, that it is no surprise that they're people that look like me, that come from Haiti. I'm sorry, but that's just my belief at this point in time. Darren Wade, thank you very much for your contribution, attorney at law, and we're happy that you're able to share it with us, and that legal position of taking this to the CCJ. We hope that the country of Haiti and the government of Haiti is looking to come to the aid of their people also.
Grateful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a blessed afternoon.
Great. Folks, we are chatting there with attorney at law Darren Wade, who was the attorney representing the 26 Haitians during that period of time when this fraudulent administration wanted to deport them, claiming that they are part of a smuggling ring. Of course, they had their documentation, and that is part of the problem. The majority of Haitians who come to this country come here legally. The Attorney General has not yet put on the table any evidence that would support his argument that there is some international human smuggling ring. He has not put on the table any evidence to support that argument. He says that it has all the hallmarks. So you are going to implement a blanket order to punish every single person from Haiti because you believe that there is some sort of smuggling ring involving these people. Is this how we are dealing with our international relations in this country? Is this how we're dealing with it? For years, we have been worrying about the people coming across from Venezuela illegally. Where was Alan Nandalal then? We've been worried about the Brazilians who are in our interior, mining illegally. Where is Alan Nandalal's voice on that issue? But this is the hypocrisy and the blatant racism that we see. Folks, and not to belabor this point, but I want to play what I want you to hear his words. I want to play what the fraudulent Minister of Legal Affairs actually said. I want to play that so that you can hear his words. And I want you to listen to his words, understanding that this man has a chip on his shoulder. Understanding that.
Concerned about the number of Haitians and Cubans traveling to Guyana, the government has announced its plan to reinstitute visa requirements for nationals of Haiti and Cuba who wish to visit this country. The announcement was made last evening during a television program hosted by the Attorney General Anil Nandlal. The Attorney General said, based on the recent incidents involving Haitian nationals found in Guyana, the PP Civic Administration will begin moves to strengthen its immigration laws by requiring that citizens of Haiti and Cuba get a visa before travel to Guyana.
Guyana will be moving in that direction. We have to take a position against our country being used as an international smuggling transshipment point. We have notified the international agencies that bear responsibility for human trafficking and human smuggling, the United Nations Commission on Human Rights, and Interpol and other international agencies. We have already made contact with the American embassy on a different occasion to complain about Cubans as well as the Haitians.
The American embassy in Guyana is the U.S. visa center for Cuban nationals. That means that all Cubans wishing to travel to the U.S. have to first travel to Guyana to apply for their U.S. visa and be interviewed. The majority of Haitians who travel to Guyana do so legally via Barbados and Panama. They mainly come to Guyana to make their way to Brazil and French Guyana, which both have large Haitian populations. But the government appears convinced that many of the Haitians arriving here are victims of human trafficking. The Attorney General pointed to the recent discovery of a group of Haitian youths staying at the Berbice Hotel after arriving in Guyana from Suriname. They have since been taken into protective custody after they explained that their passports are being held by the person who arranged their trip to Guyana.
The police found a number of very young people. We thought initially that they were children, but they turned out not to be children. They were just over 18 years old, one pregnant. Found 10 of them locked up in a hotel in Skeldon without any travel documents. So they were deposited there and a person gone with their documents. And one of the 10 speak English. These are the classic trappings of a smuggling ring, where you have young women, young men.
These are the classic trappings of a smuggling ring. Again, we say that the Attorney General, learned Attorney General, fraudulent as he is, has not put forward any evidence, any hard evidence that these people are part of a smuggling ring. These are all assumptions. These are all assumptions, mind you. We are heading down a slippery slope, folks. Folks, this afternoon, we may have, we of course, I you know, because I was so hurt, I dealt with this particular issue in detail. But we need to move on. I have another person on the line that I will call just now, sorry, who has an interesting story that she wants to share. Now we know that there's continued confusion with the Henry cousins, the Henry boys, murder and Harry Singh. The PPP has botched that investigation terribly. Shambles, it's a shambles. They've picked up incorrect people, tried to foist confessions on other persons. And today I heard a very harrowing story about a young man from Berbice who was picked up. And they said that, again, these are, I'm giving you what his aunt said, that they claimed that he was the killer of Harry Singh. And they picked him up and they took him to the station. I'm going to get her on the line so she can explain the story. But this is just a continuation of the confusion, and I want to make sense of what is happening here, folks. Let me see if I can get her on the line so we can have a conversation with her, so we can bring some clarity to what is happening. Because right now that confusion is continuing in Berbice. All the other things happening, the Henry boys and Harry Singh murder, the confusion is still continuing. Such as the ineptitude of the PPP government. Folks, we're going to get her on the line and we're going to try and bring some clarity to this this particular issue. And we are going to also, we have one other story that I want to deal with before we go. Because there is confusion at all of the RDCs. And I want to bring to you, I want to show you, and from time to time, we are going to be looking into what is happening at the RDCs. Of course, we know the Minister of Local Government and Regional Development, the tin pot dictator, is controlling and trying to put his fingers in all of what is happening in those RDCs. We see this. But we are going to be talking about specifically region number 4 and a particular issue that arose today. And this will highlight to you folks. Right. I think I have the contact here. Let me just go and bring that person in, because we want to. Oh boy. I think we may have a problem with the number. But folks, we'll deal with that story probably another, because we're not getting the person in. But let me go straight to this particular issue. I'm going to share a memorandum with you that was circulated. And this is going to be an interesting story, folks. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. Stay tuned, folks. At the other side of this quick break, we will be sharing with you that story on what is happening at the regions. So ensure you go support our friend Jamal. They're doing a great work with his business down there on Bam Ali site. So it's so close, man. Y'all know where it is. Go support Jamal doing great work. Folks, we're going to be moving now to this story. Let me share this with you. I want to share this particular story with you people. So sometimes we don't know what is happening at these regions, you know. But let me share it. Right. You might not see what is on the screen right now, but let me read it for you. Right? This is from the Public Service Commission, and I'm going to set up the story so everybody understands what is happening. Stay with me, folks. Stay with me as I unpack this particular issue. And I'll tell you why this particular issue is important after we read this letter. It is from the Public Service Commission, right, to the Regional Executive Officer of Region Number 4. And it says, recommendation. The subject line says, recommendation for appointment of Assistant Regional Executive Officer. Right? Miss Rishni, Rishmi Chitan, because the words are a little jumbled up there. But this is a letter, folks, for coming from the Public Service Commission for the recommendation for appointment of the Assistant Regional Executive Officer, Assistant REO, for Region Number 4. Reference made, and let's go in the letter now. It says reference made to the memorandum dated the 5th of June 2021 on the above mentioned subject. Please be informed, right, that a perusal of the recommendation of appointment submitted for this person, Ms. Rishmi, for Regional Development Officer to be appointed as Assistant Executive Officer. So she is a Regional Development Officer. And there was a recommendation for her to be appointed as Assistant Regional Executive Officer for Region Number 4. Right? Within Region Number 4, it has revealed, a perusal of the document has revealed that she does not have the relevant qualifications for appointment to the said position according to the job description and job specifications. Please see attached. All for information and guidance, the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Local Government and Regional Development. Folks, I hope I got her name correct. Rishmi. So what is happening here, folks, and why is this important? There was a recommendation sent to the Public Service Commission for this person who is a Regional Development Officer to be appointed as Assistant RU to Region Number 4. The people at the Public Service Commission wrote the REO and said, this person does not meet the qualifications to be appointed Assistant REO. But why is this important, folks? Because the said person is working at the ministry, not at the ministry, at the RDC. She is working there. Although the instruction from the Public Service Commission said that this woman is not qualified for the job, how she start working is a mystery. She is working there right now. She is working there. Let me see this. She is working there. But this is why it's important. Because nothing matters anymore. This is a correspondent sent to the REO. Said we can't hire this woman, but the woman working. From all accounts, the woman is working. From all accounts, she is working at the RDC. You take it easy, folks? Y'all think it easy? It ain't easy. It's not easy, folks. So the REO has to answer some questions. Huh? The permanent secretary for the Ministry of Local Government and Regional Development said, oh, you can't hire this girl. Right? You can't hire her. But how's she working? Folks, and let me say this. There is a conscious attempt to try and do things like this all across the regions. Try and force persons in positions that they are not qualified for, that they're ill-suited for. And you know what is interesting? This information was not brought to the council, the RDC council. The councillors didn't know. No idea that the REO and probably the minister doing whatever the hell they want at the RDC. Because of the RDC meetings, you know what they say? If the REO is there, because he always has an excuse as to why he can't make the meetings, and send the DRU, and the DRU comes and sits and says there are no correspondents from the region. So the council doesn't know what is happening in the region. But whilst they're doing that, these are the things that are happening behind the scenes. People being put in positions at the regions. Y'all think it easy? It ain't easy. It ain't easy at all. This fraudulent administration on a rampage. They are on a rampage. Right? We have an idiot that is on the live. I want to draw our attention to John Parker. I don't normally deal with these troll accounts, but John Parker seems, you know, I think he's on the wrong live. He needs to go on the PPP live. John Parker, welcome to the live. I'm happy that you're here to take back the information to the PPP. Thank you very much for tuning in. Right? Thank you very much. I'm not going to block you. I'm going to keep you here so our friends who are on the live can deal with you. Welcome, John. Have a seat in the corner. Don't make too much noise like them disgusting children. Have a seat in the corner and stop making noise. You know what? When I was in theater, Henry Rodney used to say, "Stop making noise. I know it's tension you want, but we know you. We hear you come already. We smell your mouth since from the door." John, we smell you. Stop making noise. Sit down in the corner and listen to the show. I love it. Somebody say, "Hi, Johnny boy." This is so funny. Right. So they are the regions doing their own thing. John, well, if you listen, you big yourself up. Thank you, man. But sit down in the corner though. Don't make too much noise. Open your mouth, let people smell you. Right. Let's move on. Now, this is what is happening in the region. This is what is happening at the region, folks. PPP at it. PPP at the best. Fraudulent corruption. Not even normal corruption. It's fraudulent corruption. Oh, my word, folks. Let me give you an opportunity to have your say this afternoon. We know that we dealt with the Haitian issue. And, you know, it's quite sad. But we want to give you an opportunity before we go on the show today to have your say. Have your say today, folks. Right. Great, folks. Welcome to Have Your Say this afternoon, where we give you an opportunity to have your say on the rush. The numbers on the telephone numbers on the screen, 618-7321. And this afternoon, call in, give us, keep your comments short, keep your comments respectful. Let me do the cussing out. Y'all don't cuss them out. But let us know what's on your mind this afternoon. What is bothering you? How do you feel about this Haitian issue? That is what I want to know. How do you feel about this Haitian issue? Right? Let us know how you feel. Give us a call on 618-7321. Right? 7321 618-7321. Give us a call. This is your part of the show. This is where we give you an opportunity to have your say. Right. We're gonna wait. Let us know. This issue with the Haitians is something that is bothering me. And I want to know how you feel. That is what I want to know. How do you feel this afternoon, this evening, as we confront this tyrannical government, this oppressive dictatorship that we are living in, right? This oppressive dictatorship. Yeah, folks, we see them. We see the trolls on the page. I'm not worried with them, man. Not to worry with them. Give us a call, folks. Let us know what you're thinking, how you're feeling. Remember, we're not going to answer unknown numbers. Caller, good afternoon. Welcome to the Rush. Have your say.
Good afternoon, Randy.
Good afternoon.
This racist, criminal cabal regime that we're dealing with, we can't play with them. Mm-hmm. I need us as a people. When I say us, I guess you understand. Mm-hmm. Us as a people, us as the opposition, to hand together solidly in unity.
Yes.
And take the bulls by the horn. The PPP are not people to be played with.
Yeah.
We cannot afford this. Yeah. And every day something new is there. Tomorrow morning you go wake up and hear that, freedom of speech is withdrawn.
Mm-hmm. They're already trying to do that. They're already trying to tell people they can't say certain things.
Don't want to try, but they will do it because that's how they operate. Mm-hmm. They don't deal with laws, right? Mm-hmm. I have no. Look, there are some things. Let me restrain myself. This is your program, but that's my take.
Right.
And when it comes to the Sputnik V vaccine, we need to delve deeper into every single thing. I think I said this yesterday. In every single thing that these people do. Mm-hmm. Thank you for your time, Randy. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your contribution. We know folks were trying to call in while that call was there. You can call back. You can give us a call. Let us know what you're thinking, folks. Let us know what you are thinking today and have your say. All right. Do not be afraid. The caller spoke about freedom of speech. They've already tried to do that. Emotionally distressed Ramson said that Matthews right? Gavin Matthews got him emotionally distressed from the things that he said on his program. Huh? Emotionally distressed. So you mustn't say, right? But they could be emotionally distressed because I really don't care. Right? They're a racist cabal. That is what they are. A racist cabal. As I said, I didn't come to this decision or this conclusion very lightly. I've been observing for the last 326 days. Because at some point in time, you wanted to give them the benefit of the doubt. But they keep proving who they are every single day. Caller, good afternoon.
Hi.
Welcome to the Rush. Have you say?
Good afternoon, Randy. I'm just trying to say, this PPP people, they're trying hard to provoke black people. This is not the time when when black people used to go on the road and create havoc. And this is what I want. That's why they're doing all these things for let you go out there for kill you. So we got to therefore realization, we got to stay in. This is so disgusting that everything is black people, and then they're saying they're racial. What is happening to these people? This you have to get a tax light to see this. Everything is black people. Everything they're seeing is black people. They're doing the tormenting black people. What's wrong with them? They own. I gotta go to them and ask them for my board certificate because I make. So I want those that own me too. You understand? It's really every time you hear black people, what black people could do them so bad? Oh Jesus! Randy, that's my take for today.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, caller. Caller, good evening. Have you say? Welcome to the Rush.
Hey man, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
You see this very government here? They're likely to create a war in this country. Right? Because they feel that people sit down easy and they're doing their chauvinist, and if you said this are 23 years and they've been in power, they might do chauvinist, come back again for the chauvinist. They might create a war in this country and they will know what it's all about. That's all my contribution.
Yeah. And that's a concern. That's a concern. That's a fear that people have. If you oppress and suppress and you push people into a corner, what is stopping them from believing that you are out to get them and retaliating and going out there and protest and taking action? Caller, good afternoon. Hold on 1 second, caller. Have you say good afternoon?
Good afternoon. Shalom.
Shalom.
I want to make a few comments concerning the
Go ahead.
black people in general. So foremost, we must understand this. We have to go back to the scripture. The Lord said these things would happen to us if we give commandment. These people, right, that set up here as government, we are forgetting how this whole thing starts first place. It's not just about the PPP. It's a whole complete structure that if you follow world politics, you're going to follow what I'm saying. The structure set up the U.S. government all the way to the Guyana government. Put pressure on both the Haitians. Right now, the Haitians is what you call, they are like in, we call one in Guantanamo Bay prison or one of those. They basically box in. Every country they go to, they are tormented. Can't get trouble from this point to this point, that point to the other. Same goes for Guyanese, so-called Guyanese people again. Because if we, like, you see how far the U.S. and all the world powers come down and say that they were willing to sanction Niger and the government. Right, because it's basically beating you into submission. All right. Now, first and foremost, as Israelites, our so-called black and Iranian people, the military to stand up to fight for anything that is right, to defend our own interests. Guess what they're going to say? We are racist. It's not racist when you stand up to defend yourself. It's about a truth campaign. And the problem is, those things being set up all over the world. You understand?
Yeah. Every
Every time we try to make a push for independence, or we try to even look into our own brothers' interests, right? Because Asians, they are our brothers. You understand? They are from the tribe of Levi. We are Israelites throughout this whole America. We were brought here as slaves, and we forget that. Some of our people, we tend to forget that. Listen, we are still here in captivity, and the nations and the powers that be. I mean, some of the war leaders, I know Mr. Granger knows certain things he wanted to say, but he put back from certain things. I confirm certain speech that he gives. You understand?
Mm.
And I follow his speech, and most war leaders have to be careful, and they know why they have to be careful. You understand?
Yeah.
So, if we very confident, not be surprised when you feel back in this manner. Don't be surprised, right?
Mm.
Because if you look from the man that did what the coup in Parliament, which is the Indian fellow, right? Bible teaches that. Bible tells you not to trust your enemy. So you see some of our people are trying to do something that's right. That just like that.
Yeah.
So we must come back to who we are as Israelites, not as dark self. These are just labels. There's no such thing as black people. Black is just a color and box.
Yeah.
And we say,
Call, you're breaking up. You're breaking up a bit, right? But thank you
Okay.
for your contribution this afternoon. We want to give some other
All right.
persons. Great, thank you.
All right, brother. You have a blessed night.
Right.
Good night.
Thank you. Right, folks, we're coming down close to program time, and we want to thank those persons who contributed. And let us say, thank you again. Call in, give your views, keep it respectful. As we give you a couple more minutes to give your views on have your say. Right? Just let me deal with this, and let's say that we give you about one more. Give you one more caller an opportunity, folks. We are ventilating the issues. We're talking about what is happening. I think we have one other caller here. We'll take this as our last caller. Caller, good afternoon. Have your say.
Good afternoon, Randy.
Hi.
Right, I'd like to give my piece, my take on this issue.
Yes.
Right? Listen, my heart is aching right now to see what's going on with our African brothers and sisters.
Mm.
Right? From Haiti. Right? This government, they are installed. They are an installed regime.
Mm-hmm.
They're not a government, they're a regime actually.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And what they are clearly showing, that they have no respect for black people, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's one of it. And they're clearly showing you that the intention they have to, well, how they're going to make this country, what they would like this country to be
Mm-hmm.
looking like, right? And they are all set out for trouble to happen in this country. They're looking for trouble, right? They want to cause a war. They want to cause confrontation, confliction in this country. That is what they're trying to do. But we Guyanese got to be smart.
Yeah.
We got to be smart and know how to deal with these people. We need to get these people out. These people are dangerous to our people and to Guyana. They are dangerous. Very, very dangerous.
Yeah.
And that's my take, Randy. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much for your contribution.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Caller, I think we lost that one. One other person was trying to call in. We want to give you an opportunity to have your say this afternoon. Let your voice be heard. Let your voice be heard this afternoon. Do not be afraid to say what you have to say, as long as you keep it respectful, of course. Keep it respectful, but have your say. Do not be afraid. Folks, that person that was calling just now, let's give an opportunity. Call back. We want to hear from you. We're extending our program time this afternoon just to ensure that we get an opportunity, for you get an opportunity to call in. We've gone over our program time, but we are going to continue to give you an opportunity to speak your truth. Let your voice be heard. We're going to be joining Mr. Sherrod Duncan in the ring this evening. It's Thursday. It is the 24th of June 2021. And we're waiting on one more call. If that caller doesn't come through, we're going to end the program and say thank you very much for being a part of what we're doing here at APNU AFC TV. Continue to log into our programs. I think we have the caller online now. Caller, hold on 1 second. Caller, good afternoon. Good evening. Have your say.
Hello. Good evening.
Yes.
I'd like to make my contribution towards the Asian. Now, people don't know the Asian history. Haiti is the fourth country that got independence in the world.
Yep.
Then America. Now, the Americans asked the Asians for assistance to gain their independence, and a lot of people don't know that. You understand? And why I'm bringing this topic up is because PPP, one of these good days, the PPP will ask the Asians for assistance. Don't burn the bridge that you might need later on. There's a lot of history. People look up the history of Haiti. They will be surprised. Columbus found, when Columbus made his first sail, Haiti is the fourth country that he discovered. And he went right back to Haiti, and he died in Haiti. His tomb is in Haiti, right? Now I'm saying all this because don't look at the Asians because of what is going on in their country.
Yeah.
I live there. I know a lot about Haiti.
Right.
Okay, and that's my contribution. So PPP, y'all be careful. Be careful what you're doing.
Thank you very much,
Thank
caller.
you.
We have one more caller, and I said we are extending the program to give everybody an opportunity to have their say. Caller, welcome to the Rush. Have your say.
Good night, Randy. Randy, these people, let me tell you, they said they give out crash grant and that kind of thing in Linden. Is the PPP people that give it to Randy. Ali chicken, the 100 and how much thousand and how much dollar is the PPP people that call it going wrong and thinking and said but scholarship is the PPP people they're looking after in Linden. They ain't looking after other people. All the chicken and everything, there's PPP people they give it to. They ain't give it to nobody, yes, Randy. So don't let it try saying they give PPP, they give him people cash grant and they give him people chicken and them thing. All them thing where they give out is PPP people they give out. All the hamper, the PPP people at the people, the party people them put on people name, and where they put on is PPP people name they put on, and they collect the two hampers and they share it out. They didn't give other people. You name couldn't go down there. You understand? So don't let a lie. Don't let a lie. It's very PPP people that give it to.
All right, caller. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you very much for that. And we know about the discrimination that is happening across the regions when it comes to the distribution of these cash grants and hampers. Caller, welcome to the Rush. Have you say?
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Have your say. Welcome to the Rush.
I want to talk about these Haitians and the Venezuelans.
Go ahead.
They are stopping the Haitians from coming in the country. What about the Venezuelans that is here and prostituting?
Oh, we've had that problem for a while.
If the Venezuelans that is fighting for our country can pour in here by the hundreds, what happened to the Venezuelans?
Yeah.
What happened to the Haitians?
Yeah, definitely. And that's something that we pointed out, caller. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
Thank you. We had a caller on the line from the BVI. We're hoping to reconnect with that caller. Of course, persons are calling from all over the world. That caller from BVI, if you can let us reconnect. So we want to hear what you're saying. We want to hear what you are saying. Again, we're going to be going up until we have about 7 minutes more of have your say. We're going to end the program at we're now getting that caller again. Caller, welcome to the Rush. Have your say.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
What I like to say is that the Attorney General is one of the dumbest person I ever seen to try to implement a visa on a CARICOM country.
Yep. Definitely. Is that it, caller?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah, we spoke about that. That is ludicrous to think that you're doing that to a fellow CARICOM nation. Caller?
Hello, hi, good evening, Randy.
Good evening. Have your say.
Listen, I don't have a say. I'm 85 years old.
Okay.
I had thought that Haiti was in CARICOM. Could you find out that?
They are a full member of CARICOM, and this is why the attorney at law, Darren Wade, who was on the program earlier, said that this is illegal. That it flies in the face of the revised Treaty of Chaguaramas that speaks about free movement of CARICOM nationals.
Thank you for telling me. I can't believe this. I thought they were. We are sure about that. Sir.
Yes. And it's bewildering as to why the government would take such a position. And you know the saddest part of it, caller, is that he is saying that it seems as though there is a smuggling ring, right? But he has not shown us any evidence. And even if you can't punish a nation because of that.
No, but if they're at the CARICOM, we don't know what other CARICOM people. So what about the Brazilians and the Venezuelans that are coming in?
Exactly, caller. I have another call on the line. Thank you for that contribution.
Okay. Thank you very much. I thought I was stupid. Okay, thank you.
Caller, welcome to the program. Welcome to the Rush. Have your say.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm listening from Antigua.
Yeah.
And I ain't too like to go in and over. Because let me tell you something, right? You see the supporters, the coalition supporters, them feeling the heat, you know. But they ain't really fighting back. You ain't seeing the fight, you know. Like, for some reason, they just fear, or I mean, except you and others. But Region 6, that's why it's for the Amsterdam. You ain't seeing the fight. But everybody just lying down and checking the thing out there. You know what I mean? Something gotta happen, you know. Something gotta happen. I mean, I admire how you and so and for drop and them are fighting, you know. I love it. I like the energy. But I'm seeing the energy still tearing down. The supporters, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Understood.
Tell me observation and something needs to be done, man.
All right.
Thank you, man.
All right, thank you. Right. Folks, my final take on this is that I am wondering what the head of CARICOM would be saying to this and whether or not there is any reprieve, whether through the courts, as the attorney said, this is a case for the people of Haiti to take to the CCJ. And I wonder whether or not the CARICOM head, who is the chairman of CARICOM, who is Dr. Kit Rowley from Trinidad, he is the current chair of CARICOM, what he will have to say on this matter. And whether or not we will hear a statement from the CARICOM headquarters that is located in Guyana. Quite interestingly, we have the CARICOM headquarters located in our country. And we are going to sanction and basically contravene the revised Treaty of Chaguaramas to carry out a racist vendetta because the Attorney General has a chip on his shoulder about these Haitian people. Show us the evidence that there is a smuggling ring. I think Guyanese are fair people. They will say yes if there's a smuggling ring. But I think I have another call. And folks, this is the issue that we're talking about as we end this afternoon. If the young lady is listening to me, you need to probably call me and give me the number that we can get you on WhatsApp. If the young lady is listening to me, that is wants to ventilate the issue with the Henry Boys and Harry Singh, if you are listening to me right now, please message me on WhatsApp or call me and give me the number so we can get in contact with you on WhatsApp, or call us on WhatsApp on 618-7321, because this is quite an important issue and I hope that our viewers get an opportunity to hear it before we come off, because we want to bring this to light. We only have a few more minutes on the show. If not, we are going to deal with it on tomorrow's show. Definitely deal with it on tomorrow's show. The issue with this young man who was picked up for the murder of Harris Singh, and the relatives are claiming that this is quite a strange arrest because their nephew, their cousin, is, you know, has no involvement in it, and this is what they are claiming, and I want them to hear their story. But if we don't get that, and it doesn't look like we'll be able to talk with her this evening, folks, thank you very much for your contribution. Thank you very much for all of you who would have stayed on today and listened to the program, for sharing the live stream. We thank you very much. As usual, we say to you, let's continue to work together for national development. Like the page if you're on YouTube, comment and subscribe. I think we have the young lady here just in time. Good afternoon to you. Hello. Good afternoon, my dear. You're live on the program. I think I misplaced the number to call you on WhatsApp because I was telling the viewers about this issue of your relative that was picked up for the murder of Harris Singh, and you want to bring to us the circumstances surrounding that arrest. Tell us what happened, please.
My nephew went at the super bet shop at number 3 Village on Tuesday about 2 p.m. and a white vehicle from Georgetown pull up at the super bet shop. 2 male exit the vehicle, an Indian and a black. And they were asking for 2 individuals they were looking for. And they called the names, and the boys, they were not there. And they saw my nephew. And they picked up my nephew, put him in the vehicle, and they drove to Blairmont Station.
Yeah.
They got my nephew at Blairmont Station there. Family members went to the station and inquired about my nephew. The driver said, and which is the Hindu Guyanese, they picked him up for the murder of the Henry boys first. And the family members started to quarrel and those things. And they put them out of the Blairmont Station and locked the gate. That was 10 o'clock in the morning. 10 o'clock in the morning. And my family went there till 8 o'clock. And then the CID come out to say to them that it's not the 2 Henry boys, it's Harris Singh. And at 10:30 they drove out and they go to Georgetown. They kept him there Tuesday, they kept him Wednesday. Today, we see on the news that they're charging for murder. But let me tell you, presently now, I just spoke with my sister, which is his mother. The lawyer went there, 2 lawyers. The CID told the lawyers that Philip Anderson have no family. They say they don't know the words about a Philip. Now I'm telling you that.
Yeah.
So he don't know where is Philip Anderson. They picked him up. But 12 o'clock today, my sister and niece, they visited him. They saw him 4 o'clock. You want to tell me there is no Philip around? I want to know what really is going on. How the CID could say Philip has no family. You have mother, you have father, you have brother, sister, aunts, uncle. You have a lot of relatives.
So
I fed up with these things. How can a policeman, CID, go and pick up my nephew just like that and frame him and charge him right away? That will not end up good.
So Philip Anderson is the person, is your
my nephew.
Your nephew. And
yes.
He was picked up and Tuesday. Explain to us again, because I think I'm missing something. The police came up and they said they were looking for Philip Anderson. They were looking for him.
No, they were looking for 2 boys. 2 boys that were looking for, I think it was Mark and another boy. But the boys that was not there at the shop. And the man that drove the vehicle is an Indo Guyanese with long beard. Say, bring that one. And it was Philip. He said, bring that one.
Bring that one?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And so they picked him up, and you said that they claim that he's being held for the murder of the Henry boys, and then they story
the 2 Henry
changed.
boys. And then my family started to quarrel. And then the police come back to the gate, and they were saying that it's not the Henry boys, it's Harris Singh.
So they're charging him for the murder of Harris Singh.
Good.
And so you're saying now where we are in the story that do you know where he is?
We don't know. At this point in time, my sister in Georgetown with 2 lawyers, I think it's Nigel Hughes and another lawyer. They say they don't know anything about him. They went Brigham, they went Ivlery. The CID said they don't know anything about Philip Anderson. What? That's what my sister just told me, 6:30.
Wow. So they picked him up, they took him to Blairmont. Now you don't know where he is, and they claim that they're taking him.
They take him to Georgetown, yes.
This is interesting. And I hope that we can continue to follow this story. You know, tell us, how is there any way, you know, because I'm trying to bring some clarity to our viewers here. Is there any way that your nephew could have been involved in this, in what they're saying?
No, the problem is my nephew and the 2 Henry boy, they are close friends, they are cousins.
Okay. Because I'm trying to make the connection.
They are close friends, they are cousins.
Okay. Okay.
They cannot, if they're not drunky, they pick up somebody like that. The thing that's annoying me is the CID said, Philip said he have no family. How can a man live in this Guyana and have no family? Something definitely wrong with those CIDs. Yeah. Well, they know what they're looking for. They don't know what they're looking for at all.
Well, this is definitely concerning, and we hope that you will continue to update us on what is happening with your nephew as it relates to this story, because I'm sure our viewers want to know what are the developments. I'll definitely give you a call tomorrow so we can see whether or not you figured out the location of your nephew, because this is concerning. If the police picked him up, you want to know where he's being held.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So this is quite strange. Thank you very much for bringing this to light, and I will definitely follow up on this story tomorrow. So look out for a call so we can know what is happening, and we hope that everything works out.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you. Great.
Okay, bye-bye.
Folks, as I said, we are living in troubling times in this country. I was just about to end the program. And there we go. We got the call from the young lady who reached out today and said, look, these people picking up people. Bring that one. These are the allegations made against the police. Folks, we are living in troubling times. And, you know, as I end the program today, the 326. I take a deep breath and I say, we need help. Well, it's divine intervention or what, but we are in a sad situation in this country with this tyrannical, oppressive dictatorship that we're living under. Folks, let's continue to work for national development. Let's continue to look out for our brothers and sisters. We haven't even talked about COVID-19 yet and the fallout with the vaccine. We didn't even touch that today. But we continue to see the craziness that is happening with this government. Do enjoy the rest of your evening, if you can, folks. If you can. Join Sherry Duncan in the ring in the next hour time at 8 for continued coverage of all that is happening in Guyana. Do enjoy the rest of your evening. My name is Randolph Critchell. Be safe.